enclosed spaces where the lumbering menace might strike. The local authorities further urge citizens to refrain from forming mobs, wielding torches and pitchforks, or marching on Castle Frankenstein. We now return to your regular programming, which is already in progress.
Hey everybody, Sandman here with another installment of News of the Strange. This week I'm coming to you from my office here at work. That's why the bleak background, but I had a few minutes and I thought, hey, while I've got some time to kill, why not shoot a quick News of the Strange video? So that's what I'm doing. And this week I'm going to be talking about the latest trend in paranormal investigating, demon hunting. Let's face it, anything regarding the paranormal or the unexplained is compulsive, which probably goes towards explaining the current ghost hunting mania. Trust me, I'm with you on this. Ghost hunting TV shows and paranormal YouTube channels are increasing, seems like by the day. Investigators all over social media are poking around in the dark with EMF meters and REM pods and all kinds of ghost hunting equipment, and they can be found in just about every abandoned, derelict building or spooky location around the globe. Many diehard fans also get the good fortune to join TV shows on weekend investigations. Judging by the popularity, these events are pretty regular and probably are pretty lucrative too. But have you also noticed, interestingly enough, an increase in celebrity exorcists? Some even have their own Twitter accounts. Is this just some sort of mere coincidence, or is it cause and effect, or has ghost hunting gone mad? Underneath the black baggy t-shirt and baseball cap and arms full of skull tattoos and stuff, you'll find today's modern paranormal investigator. He's muscular, he's rough and tough, and he's out there looking for demons. Wait a minute. Did you just say demons? Yes, I did. Seriously, demons. This has always been a big eyebrow raiser concerning the whole crazy ghost hunting circus. Why are paranormal investigators only seeking danger? Things like evil spirits and demons. Is this just a fear-based adrenaline kick, or is there some sort of hungrier, deeper desire for fame and fortune? Maybe because of the essence of paranormal investigations in a dark, supposedly haunted location or cemetery, the paranormal investigators are subconsciously already at that level where the only encounters are sure to be of some sort of malevolent nature. So what next, right? Well, judging by the growing number of these cases, reported Class A EVPs, SB7 spirit box communications of growing intent, Ouija boards, Zoso sessions, cold spots, oppressive atmospheres, and being pushed in the dark, let's just assume that you have really indeed found some sort of malevolent entity. What next? Do you really want your life turned upside down by some sort of unseen force? So rather than brandishing your demonic bruises and scratchings as some sort of badge or medal of honor all over social media, maybe it's worth considering if this really was some sort of demon communicating with you or not. And if it was or wasn't, what did it actually want? Apparently, by all accounts, what demons want really isn't the greatest, right? They want to do things like incite spiritual warfare, kill, destroy, murder, lie, confuse us, keep us from discovering the truth, and they'll also accuse us of things that we haven't done. They can leave us feeling truly suicidal and destructive. As far as most paranormal teams are concerned, this might be kind of like a conversation killer here, but isn't the risk quite a high price to pay just for a few, YouTube subscribers, or a few people to listen to your podcast, or maybe for the chance to get on that paranormal TV show that you've always wanted to get onto? I mean, the paranormal frenzy is pretty much focused here in the West. People in the East are a lot more generally accepting and respectful of spirituality and the dangers, and thus seem quicker to recognize demonic activity. Hindus often credit bad luck to circumstances of evil entities. In Japan, Japanese culture, it's not unusual to light bonfires or lanterns and respect and send the dead back to where they came from. Buddhists will keep a little spirit house and make offerings of food and water. And while in the West, we're divided by looking for rational explanations, scientific or maybe mental health problems to attribute to all this, which can make obsession and possession more difficult to recognize. It's kind of like a war, so to speak. So if this war is real, would you go to war unarmed? I know I wouldn't. People like Gary Galka and Bill Chappell really need to be applauded for their groundbreaking inventions that they've come up with. Gary Galka's, he's got a really heartbreaking story of loss of his own really young, beautiful teenage daughter, Mel, and this led him to develop ways to communicate with her. And this is truly inspirational and pioneering. However, the primary problem in the war against evil may not be all the cool gadgets we have within our armory, right? But maybe what strength of discernment we have in ourselves. So you may be asking yourself, what do you mean by discernment? Well, just by definition, discernment is the ability to judge well. It's judgment, it's enlightenment, sensitivity, subtlety, and perceptiveness. A good person, in my opinion, a good person as a representative of this, believe it or not, is actually Zach Bagans, who is the lead guy on the Travel Channel series Ghost Adventures. He's really, as far as I'm concerned, one of the more prominent examples of not necessarily having discernment to start off with, but the development of discernment over the course of his career. Now, he had an interview not too long ago with biography.com, and he actually admitted to having a much healthier respect for the paranormal now than he did when he first got into it. If you watch that first documentary that Zach and Nick Groff and Aaron made called, coincidentally enough, Ghost Adventures, it was really three guys who had no idea what the hell they were doing. They just wanted to, Zach had this experience that he wanted to try to find out what was going on, and they made this documentary, and they had no idea what they were doing. But it was a very good documentary, and they captured some very good footage on that. And this led to the TV show, and the first couple of seasons of Ghost Adventures, I admit, I thought was horrible. I stopped watching the show about halfway through the second season because I just couldn't stand Zach, and I couldn't stand the way they were doing their investigations. So I let it go for 2 or 3 years, and then I came back to it one day when there was nothing else going on, and I started watching it again, and I was impressed with how much they had changed, and I've been watching it ever since. And it's really great to see how Zach has changed his whole entire approach to the field of the paranormal, and he's really very passionate and serious about what he does. And along his journey, he really feels like he's developed his own sixth sense and is now able to feel and channel the emotions from the spirits and their power. He has kind of, he has actually really compared this to what happens in the movie Avatar when I can't remember what the name of the creatures or the race was on the planet, but where they took their tails and they could connect it to like the tree and to each other and everything. Zach kind of compares what he does to that. And he also recognizes that this could be a very dangerous thing, which could well indicate that he's probably truly encountered some evil somewhere along the way, and the consequences he suffered because of that. If you are a fan of the show and you watch it regularly, you know that back in October of last year, they did I believe it was a 4-hour special Halloween episode inside of Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum. And one of his items that he has there is a Dybbuk box, which is reportedly one of the most haunted objects in the world. And there was some debate on whether he would or would not open this thing up during the show. And really, in the end, he decided to not open this Dybbuk box because of concerns for his health. And you'd have to hope that all the hype and everything surrounding this wasn't merely just for show ratings, and that he really was concerned for his health. And I think probably he is. However, the great news is if you believe that demons or malevolent forces are out there, you really need to be open to the possibility of the polar opposite. That means that you must at least consider using religion as a weapon, or rather a defense against any malevolent forces that you encounter. Now look, I'm not one to incorporate bringing religion and paranormal investigating, but being the open-minded skeptic that I am, I certainly don't want to close any door on the subject either. Just because I don't believe that religion has a place in paranormal investigating doesn't mean that you can't include religion in your investigations. You just can't go into any investigation with your mind already made up as to what's going on, though, a la Ed and Lorraine Warren style. So just be mindful of that. And that is all for this edition of News of the Strange. If you have any feedback, good or bad, leave them in the comments below. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, you can go to ParaReality.com or send an email to sandman@ParaReality.com. You can also follow ParaReality Radio on Facebook and Twitter. My Twitter account is @ParaRealRadio. And if you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can do so by clicking on the subscribe button. And don't forget that you can listen to a new episode of the ParaReality Radio podcast every first and third Friday of every month on Spreaker, Stitcher, Player FM, Facebook, on the ParaReality.com website, and of course here on YouTube. I hope that you have a wonderful evening, and I'll talk to you again next Friday on the ParaReality Radio podcast. So make sure you tune in, and find out. I hope that this program opens your mind, expands your consciousness, and produces a change in the way you see the world. If you wish to change, you must lift the veil of ignorance that has been cast over your eyes. Only then will you see the true power of the universe. Good night, everybody, and I'll see you on ParaReality Radio next Friday.